Welcome to Insight Plug, the podcast where independent creators and entrepreneurs connect and inspire. I'm your host, Devon Jones. Today on our show, we have filmmaker Brendan Shaw. Brendan, welcome to the show.
Hey man, how's it going?
Glad to have you here.
Yeah,
All
no,
right.
here.
Yeah, so Brendan, glad to have you on board. You're part of our Canadian tour right now. We have a bunch of filmmakers from out there in Canada, and we're gonna jump into the projects that you have here. But before we do that, we like to give the audience and the listeners a little bit more about the filmmaker as a whole. So, Brendan, if you could share with us, where did filmmaking start for you?
Filmmaking started from a very young age for me. I think it's just always what I wanted to do. Don't think I've ever wanted to do anything else. I grew up with a tight knit circle of friends, and we just made movies all the time, man. All throughout high school and maybe even elementary school, we were just making movies on our lunch break, whatever. It's all we did, and it's just when you have such deep passion for something like that's just all you think of doing. And so when kind of the time came to decide what I wanted to do after school, it's a no brainer, just go to film school and start making movies for real.
Awesome. I love that. Brendan, could you share with us, how was it, coming up with your first concept and your first film?
Yeah, so my first film that I ever made was a very specific assignment from a teacher. I mean, I've made lots of movies, like I said, with my friends, but I don't really consider them my first films. But they were, goofy little projects, whatever, just whatever popped in our brains as 12-year-olds or whatever. But the first like film I consider that I made, and like first movie where I actually sat down, wrote a script, went through a shot list, made the whole thing, was this very specific assignment from a teacher. And it was after our first semester at film school. He basically just said, just make a movie about your first semester as a film student. And which was good because it gave you didn't have to be really creative with the script, right? You just make a movie about how your first semester was. But I kind of went really deep with it, and I made this movie about um really all encompassing my journey to get there. And there's a really fast montage of I took all my home video clips from like when I was a baby to coming to film school, and it's really fast edited together, some nice music. And yeah, no, people tell me it's a tearjerker. I've shown that movie to groups of people, and everyone's like sobbing afterwards. So it's a pretty emotional film, and yeah, it was definitely great to be my first one. It was pretty cool.
I
But
love that. I love that. All right. So Brendan, let's talk about this project we have here. It's titled 048. How did
yeah,
the name come about and how was the experience working on the project?
so 048 was our first project that kind of went beyond film school. Um, it blew up on YouTube a little bit. I think it's got like 1.6 million views right now, which is crazy for a couple of first year film students. Like that really blew us away. Um, that project kind of came from one of my buddies, Luke Klorick, another great filmmaker. You should get him on here if you can. He had this script idea for this. It was kind of just he had an idea for the creature. Don't spoil the movie too much, but the creature is kind of this lab experiment that escapes the lab, and so he's branded with 048, like he's the 48th experiment, right? And so his this creature will kind of peeks around corners and attacks his victims, and he's a cannibal, so he eats them. And so yeah, we shot that movie um in like 2 days. It was like two 14-hour days, just staying up all night, and we just filmed it in our dorm room building. I did all the cinematography for it. Yeah, and Luke directed it, and we had Emma Lundgren was the gaffer. And yeah, and we had Lee McLeod acted in it, and Mason Sturgis acted in it. We had a great cast and crew. It was a ton of fun. Is it the greatest project we ever made? Probably not, but it's like a fun like creature feature kind of movie, right? Like it's just one of those fun YouTube horror movies, right? It was just a ton of fun to make. So yeah,
Awesome.
great.
Awesome. I love it. So you mentioned that you did the cinematography for it. So
Yeah.
would you consider yourself a cinematographer or
Uh, I think I'd consider myself like a hyphenate filmmaker, right? So I do a lot of cinematography, but I also like write, direct, and edit my own movies for the most part. So um and sometimes I do my own cinematography on my own movies. I did a movie last Christmas, I shot a movie and it was literally just me and the actor. I rented equipment. Terrible process, do not recommend. But rented all this equipment and I was like running and setting up lights and checking the camera and then do this. It was like stupid to do, but you do what you gotta do and when you don't have crew. So but yeah, I definitely think I consider myself just writer, director, cinematographer, editor, like the whole wheelhouse. I feel like I'm going for that kind of hyphenate credit of a filmmaker. So yeah.
Awesome. All right. So we have this film festival that you were a part of, the Yikes Film Festival. Can you share with us that experience?
Yeah, so that was a really, really fun festival. It's a smaller festival, definitely homegrown to us here in Alberta. Um, it's an Edmonton horror and sci-fi festival, and so this wasn't 4048, it's for a different film called Updog. And this film was a really fun project because it was me and two of my friends, Jonah Penny and Molly McLeod. We were bored on a Saturday, and we just said, "Let's just pull out our camera and all our lights." Like we got quite a bit of equipment just in our own wheelhouse, and we just pulled all our equipment and we said, like, "Let's just make a movie. Like, see if we can actually write, film, and edit a movie in 24 hours." So then became a very, very long night of filming and editing and writing this kind of borderline skit movie. It's not the most clever thing, but it's super fun to make, and it's just like slasher kind of horror movie that has like some comedy in it too. And yeah, we just had a ton of fun with it. We submitted it to the festival. We finished it the day before the deadline, and like I said, it was all 24 hours, and then we submitted it to the festival and got in. And yeah, we went, and it was our first festival we'd been to, and it was just a blast. That festival is it's just like everyone in the small, tight-knit community of Edmonton, Alberta, like we're a small film community. Just all these people getting together and having a good time watching movies. There's food and they have live performances. It's just like a party pretty much, right? And you just get to see your movie on the big screen. So much fun. Yikes is a blast. So yeah.
Awesome. Congratulations on that. So you mentioned that it's like a sci-fi, and then for 048, you mentioned that that was kind of like a creature feature. Um, do you have like a specific genre that you're drawn to, or you're pretty open?
Not necessarily. I find I've done a lot of different genres, like from like kind of kitchen sink dramas to like a couple horrors, some comedies, some like uh some experimental stuff even too. Like I think when you're a film student, I think the best thing is just to explore all kinds of genres and just really just try everything and make all the movies you want to make. That's why I'm here making movies as a film student. It's 4 years of me getting to make whatever I want to make with free equipment, free crew, and relatively free cast, right? So um, right now I'm working on a personal kind of drama about my grandfather, and I just wrapped a movie that was this kind of like experimental, like all shot in studio, like trying new camera moves film that's all just based on like colors and lights, and it's like this really weird film, but like, so I don't think I'm tied to a genre. Some of my friends like Luke is like I talked about, he directed 048. That guy's just horror all the way. So a lot of the reason why I've worked on a lot of horror movies too is just because he does a lot of horror and I like to work with him. So yeah. But I don't think I'm tied to a genre necessarily.
Awesome, awesome. Brendan, you mentioned so you do have 048 and then the other project Updog. If people want to check out your work, where would they be able to find you? Do you have an IMDb or YouTube?
I believe I'm on IMDb. Just I haven't built a profile yet, but just from proxy, just because I'm credited on stuff. Um, but Updog and majority of my films that I write and direct are posted on Boiler Room Films on YouTube. And then 048 and all of Luke Cloric's films are on Shadow Pawn Productions. So yeah, and yeah, so most of my films, like I'll be posting some new ones here on yeah, Boiler Room Films. So that's a collective production company of me and my film school circle. Um so not all of them I have directed, but a lot of them on there I've directed. So yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Check out check out those pages and get connected with Brendan. All right, so now we have this another award show, the Rosie Awards. How was the experience on that one? And what project was that one for?
Yeah, so this was just this last weekend, and so that was the first really big festival that we've gone to. It's a bit more prestigious, and I mean, I'm gonna you're gonna think I'm lying about the multiple genres thing because that one was another horror film we were there for. But yeah, so this was Luke Cloric. Me and him co-wrote it. Um, and yeah, and then I did the cinematography and he directed. So this was a film that we wrote together, and it's revised from an original idea that he made in high school. But we kind of took the script and the old film and we tore it apart, and we're like, okay, now that we got some film school knowledge under our belt, what can we do to make this a really good film? And then we sat down with it for a couple days, wrote the script, figured out that we had something kind of good here, and then we booked a bunch of we rented equipment from Fava. Shout out to Fava. Um, and yeah, I think we shot that one over like 4 days. It was very like limited crew again. It was I think like me, him, our friend Lee McLeod, and then like our actor. It was like a one actor man and the shoot. And yeah, so that film's called Specular. We actually won the Phil Fraser Best Student Production Award at the Rosies, which is big deal here in Alberta. Like the Rosies is like kind of the Alberta Oscars, I guess you could say, for everything shot in Alberta. So yeah, we just won that, and yeah, go check out Specular. It's on Shadow Pond Productions. It's one of my favorite. I think it's of the films that me and Luke have collaborated on, all those horror stuff. I think that's probably my favorite. So yeah, it's really good.
So, congratulations on that win.
Yeah, yeah, man, it was good.
So Brendan, I have to ask, who or what inspires you to keep going?
Oh man, well, I think it's kind of like there's people for sure, but I think like at its core, like I think it's just a necessity for me to do film, and make this career work. Um, like I said, I just can't imagine what else I would do. Um, but yeah, like definitely have some role models in my life. There's some instructors I have that are super great and have been great mentors to me, in training me, but also like my parents, my grandfather, they're like my family's super supportive. I could not have done this without them, and they're the ones that have pushed me to be here and like let me kind of follow this dream. I think uh especially in Canada, like pursuing filmmaking is tough, right? Like I mean, we don't have Hollywood, and uh the industry is smaller, and so it's a bit more of a risk. But I think some great filmmakers have come from Canada, and I think um and a lot of great American shows come and film up here, right? So there is an industry up here, and I think it's just growing day by day. And so the fact that I had a family that supported me kind of taking that leap and that risk into going into the Canadian industry, and just backing me 100% all the way is it's just been great. And it keeps me going, and yeah, and just going out of necessity. I think this is the best art medium in the world. I think we're and it's the hope that our generation of film students in Canada is a part of Canada's new wave. We're gonna make the name for Canadian filmmakers all over, right? So yeah, I it's a lot of things. It's it's a loaded question. I think, but yeah, it's just can't do anything else. You just gotta keep going.
That's awesome. I love it. Thanks for sharing that. All right, Brendan, we're at that part of the episode where I ask this question. What is a book, a TV show, or a film that you recommend? It could
Okay,
even be all three.
okay. I gotta say, try to like think of an answer that isn't like super obvious. Like I don't want to tell you like Shawshank Redemption is something like
Hey, no,
uh,
even classics are great.
no.
Exposed, yeah.
I have it here. I don't know if I have it. Oh yes, I do. Okay, this film, it's called "This Is Not a Film." It's by Jafar Khanin. He's a Iranian filmmaker. This film is insane. It's super hard to find. You'll see my DVD of it has like public library shit on it because I bought this on eBay. This film changed my life, changed my perspective of filmmaking. So basically, he made this film all on his iPhone. Uh, because he was under house arrest for like filmmaking in Iran, right? So he was told he could not filmmake anymore, put under house arrest for 5 years. Like this guy's like one of the biggest filmmakers in Iran and told he can't make films, right? Put under house arrest. So he's like by making this film, he's risking his life. Like he would totally be killed if he found out. And so he finished this documentary film about his house arrest, right? And it's just so beautiful because he's trying to make a film when he can't make a film, you know? So
Mhm.
the film's called This Is Not a Film. Um, but he finished this movie and he put it on a USB drive, stuck the USB drive in a cake, and sent it to Cannes Film Festival in France. And it played in competition. It didn't win, shockingly, but it is very like powerful film, very inspiring. It changed my whole perspective on filmmaking and the stories that need to be told, and just how good we have it here where we can just make whatever the fuck we want. And this guy like is struggling. And so also just great to know is that Jafar Panahin won the Palme d'Or this year for his film This Is Not an Accident, or It Was Just an Accident, sorry. Um so great to know that he's out of house arrest. Um but yeah, great movie. That's probably my most niche recommendation. I love, these movies in the back, Full Metal Jacket and, Back to the Future, great movies. Um, but yeah, this is not a film, but is just it'll change your life, man. It's a crazy movie.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing that. All right, everyone. That's been our episode today for Insight Plug. Brendan, thank you again for stopping by and sharing your journey with us.
Yeah, no, thank you so much for having me, man. This is, my first podcast, and I was a little shocked when you wanted to have me on, but it's been a really fun experience. So, thank you. It's been great, man.
Appreciate it. And we look forward to have you on in the future when more of your projects is out. And I'm sure this won't be your last podcast.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, everyone. Remember, we're here every Tuesday, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. We're on all podcast platforms. Remember, stay inspired and keep creating. Insight Plug, signing out.